Remember that they're changing my voice. On the issue of respect, I understand the word far more than you might think. Keep in mind, I'm provoked and fumed and poisoned, and it's like all the firing away you see is mandatory, right? Mandate, a Ra, Alpha Ra. And the Ra meaning God and not evil. But when I use it in a context that demands respect, right? It said a Ra, right? You see what I'm saying? So, on the issue of respect, you know, I was taught and I believe that it's correct that you give respect where it's due, okay? And that's important, you know. There's never a righteous person in history that I've ever disrespected in my wildest dreams. If they're righteous, I said they're righteous. And I also respect them by not assigning extra. Like in Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying? I feel that he made some serious errors. However, what he did to a large degree was respectable. So I assigned him respect where it's due. And he's not a martial artist and so on and so forth. And that goes for everybody of every race there ever was, every sexual orientation. If that person... So obviously I was interrupted and everyone's eternal punishment is increased. Or why am I not making my video in a church or at an attractive female's house or some place that's set aside for God's work? On the entire planet, there is not one place to do God's work. And there's all kinds of wimps and weaklings on the internet who think that Jesus is going to come back on a cloud in a massive spiritual event while they're here in the flesh or when their offspring are here, you know, and that, you know, everyone will see him and it'll be like a magical event. They're literally sitting there with a thong waiting for the technology to fake something similar or something in a sense. And that is their religion. That is how they honor God. They're literally here on this planet with no higher cause. You know, token minority vampires, racist whites, Jews, LGBT, corporate hate groups, very wealthy and well-connected corporate hate groups. And a lot of people don't understand why not to be part of the pedo core and their allies. Corporate partnerships, pedo corporate alliances with people who may or may not be pedos, but are just as bad as they go to bat for them. They're allied to them. They make money with them. They protect their business as their own. You know, the fasci, a bunch of sticks in a bundle. Okay, phallic symbols, fasci symbols. Okay, penis symbols. They're like, hey, they help them meet their sexual needs and their financial needs. And, you know, quid pro quo, right? They scratch their back, they scratch their back. They beat it from the back, and they beat it from the back on some motherfucking, we'll call it, you know, pink thinking. Okay? Except for some of the people that are pushing in our kids. I'm seeing them think, oh, it shouldn't be said, really. You think people should be quiet about the fact that 1 in 4 little girls are sexually molested before the age of 18 and 1 in 6 little boys? Now, again, you know, it is sad that nobody wants to do anything about this on a very serious level, right? Pedos get beat down all the time. Well, maybe not all the time, but, you know, sometimes. And stuff like this. Okay. But it's the society we live in, right? Where I'm being persecuted by these types of people. And the people aren't honoring God. And why don't they just, you know, why don't they just put God first in this life? So, you know, I made a paper I'm working on. I'm still working on it. I'm tempted just to make the video after this video where I describe the reasons why I'm spiritually in charge. And it has to do with explaining why that there's a God. Now, before you people, you know, start to wonder if I'm right or wrong, let's think about it like this, you know. In life, all you have are logical assumptions and what are called sound conclusions, right? So you say, hey, you know what? If I'm going to, you know, when I go to bed tonight, I'm probably going to wake up tomorrow morning. So I'm not going to plan to be dead. You see what I'm saying? You say, well, you don't know that. Since you don't know that, why not plan to be dead? Or, you know, why not, you know, stay up all night? Because you don't know if you're going to be dead when you wake up. You say, well, I'm probably not going to be dead when I wake up tomorrow morning. So I'm going to go to sleep, and then in the morning I'm going to go to work and do my errands and do what I got to do. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the logical assumption, and it's a pretty sound conclusion. And then there's another argument there. where you say, well, even if that doesn't happen and I die in the morning, which me right now, I'm fine with that. Been betrayed by the whole world. I'm sick of it. No one here puts God first but me. I would not. I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning in a planet where every attractive woman worships the devil with all her fucking heart, because that's what it takes to betray God, who loved you so much, is to hate him with all your heart, which means to love the devil with all your heart. I don't want to wake up in this world anymore. It's not, depression. It's called logic. Okay? So if I did die, that's okay, because I'm still better off planning as though I am not going to die. Because if I die, I'm dead. Get done. If I don't die, I still need to get up and do what I got to do and prioritize, which is a martial art principle. It's like one of the main martial art principles is prioritization. Say putting God first, right? Prioritize. So as I put God first every day, whenever I die, I'm good. So I don't have to worry about that. That's, I can put a little check in that box, and I can put also a check in the box of what I got to do tomorrow morning. Pretty straightforward. And so it is with putting God first. See, this is what all the other martial arts on the planet don't understand. That if they die right now, they spent their whole life not putting God first, or going to some cheesy church that is obviously full of shit and pretending they put God first. If you go and pray with the wicked and become one in their church, then you're praying to the devil. It says, the Bible says the Lord detests the prayers of the wicked. He doesn't like the prayers of the wicked. It also says in Psalms, I believe it is, the arrogant can't stand in the presence of God. If they refuse to obey God through me, are they not arrogant? Okay, and it goes back to how I'm the gate. Why am I the gate? Because logic points to me. Okay, you say, okay, it goes back to that argument I made about waking up in the morning. Okay, you can say, well, I don't know for sure he's the gate. But what is the priority and what is the logic? Logic says that I am the gate. Okay, and then after I'm gone, there will be no gate because of tech, breeding, and ill-gotten gains. That's part of why in the Bible it says Apollyon, the destroyer, in as the fifth trumpet, which is connected to the fifth seal being open in the fifth bowl. Okay, he's going to lay the word. The smoke is going to go up. It's going to blot out the sun. Okay, there's going to, pour the bowls on the sea and all this kind of stuff that goes on in the, with the seven seals, the seven trumpets, okay, and the seven bowls. Okay, this has to do with the seven churches and the angels and so on and so forth. Okay, lampstands and so on and so forth. Okay, that's why it's saying that Apollyon, who's Apollo, who's a deity of fertility, he's a deity of science. Okay, he's a deity of knowledge. Okay, they talk about the tree of knowledge, right? It's the tree of knowledge dog is going to lay this world out straight, flat, it's going to lay it out. Now, if you have any questions, I'd love to explore this within the comics. It's kind of complicated. I'm making yet another video about Revelation coming soon. Okay, because they put it in a way that's confusing. And I know what they're saying, and I'm trying to put it again and again until I do it just right, because I'm being fumed and poisoned. They kind of jump from topic to topic a little bit. It has to do with me being fumed. But I'm still, I think it's called tangential thinking, right? Where I say, incidentally, this, and this. And then we go back to the original topic. That's not the same as disorganized thinking, okay? And that needs to be noted, okay? Anyway, and there's another incidentally, right? So, again, instead of somebody helping me while I'm being fumed and poisoned, and write down my thoughts, because even if I was fucking crazy, which I'm always, which I